In the heart of Arizona, Jackson rode alone through the jagged canyons, his horse's hooves kicking up clouds of red dust that danced in the fading sunlight. He had spent years wandering these lands, a solitary figure with nothing but the horizon as his companion. Life had hardened him, but it had also taught him patience, survival, and the unspoken rules of the West. On this quiet evening, as the wind carried the scent of sagebrush, he noticed something unusual near a cluster of rocks, a faint groan carried by the wind. Curiosity pulled him closer, and then he saw her, an Apache woman, her clothes torn, blood staining her arm, her eyes wide with fear. Jackson didn't hesitate. He dismounted, moving swiftly despite the dust coating his boots. The woman's breaths were shallow, each one a struggle. Her hand trembled as she reached out, pleading silently. Jackson lifted her into his arms with surprising gentleness. "You're safe now," he whispered, though he didn't know if she understood English. The ranch was a modest wooden structure perched on a plateau overlooking the canyon. Jackson laid her on a bed of blankets and, with quiet determination, began tending to her wounds. He cleaned cuts, wrapped them tightly, and offered her water. Her eyes flickered with a mixture of fear and gratitude, and slowly she relaxed. Days passed, and Diana, as she finally whispered her name, began to regain her strength. She stayed close to the fireplace, wrapped in a warm blanket, watching Jackson as he repaired fences, fed the livestock, and kept the ranch running. Jackson, who had grown accustomed to solitude, felt a new sensation stirring within him. As she healed, she shared stories of her people, their struggles and their beauty. Jackson listened, realizing how little he had truly known of the world beyond his own. Each story she told was a thread, weaving them closer together. Quiet evenings on the porch became their ritual, the setting sun painting the sky with colors as they sat in companionable silence. Jackson felt something he hadn't in years, hope. But in the unforgiving West, happiness was always fleeting. Rumors reached him of a ruthless gang of outlaws who despised anyone aiding the Apache, and Jackson knew that danger was coming. As days turned into weeks, Jackson and Diana grew inseparable. He taught her how to ride, how to move quietly across the canyon floor, even how to handle a rifle for protection. In return, she showed him the hidden springs and healing plants of the land. Their bond deepened into something more, unspoken but undeniable. Then one evening, under a crimson sky, Diana approached, fear flickering in her eyes. "They're coming," she said softly. Jackson didn't hesitate. He took her trembling hands, his voice steady. "I'll keep you safe," he promised. And it wasn't just a promise. It was a vow. They spent that night reinforcing doors, hiding supplies, and mapping escape routes. Every moment carried the weight of what was coming. Their quiet meals and whispered conversations became precious, stolen moments before the storm. When the night came, it was darker than usual. The sky was void of stars, the moon hidden behind thick clouds. Jackson sensed them before he saw them. The faint rustle of boots, the glint of metal in the shadows. Then the attack. Flames lit the horizon, outlaws shouting as they charged. Jackson's heart pounded, but his hands were steady as he grabbed his rifle. Every shot was measured, every movement fueled by one purpose. Protecting her, he lured the attackers away, giving Diana time to escape down the hidden canyon path. Each shot, each step, cost him, a bullet in his shoulder, another grazing his leg. Still, he refused to stop. Love, fierce and consuming, drove him forward. By dawn, the ranch was reduced to ashes. The gang, broken and scattered, retreated. And Jackson, wounded, exhausted, but alive, disappeared into the wilderness. When Diana returned weeks later, guided by the stars, she found nothing but ruins. Kneeling in the charred earth, tears streaking her face, she whispered his name into the wind. But grief became resolve. She rebuilt the ranch, stone by stone, honoring Jackson with every wall she raised. People whispered their story, a tale of love, sacrifice, and unyielding courage, one that the canyons of Arizona would never forget. And though Jackson was gone, Diana knew he was still there, in the whispering winds, in the strength of the land, in the eternal flame of the love they had shared.